Welcome back to Psychology of Peace Building. I had promised you we will be revisiting some of my PowerPoints and some of the material throughout the course, and you're going to see that that's true today because you saw we're introduced to this PowerPoint a couple of weeks ago, and now I'd like to use it not just to talk about reframing positions to interest, but to focus on understanding human needs. In order to build peace, we must be willing to acknowledge and attend to, respond to human need. Really, I think if that would be our focus as a world, and we did it while we were asserting boundaries and saying people have to do what they can to meet their own needs. We're not just going to take care of people. This is a partnership, a collaboration. I think if we did this, we would transform our world into a much more humane place. And certainly we would build more peace. Maslow's hierarchy of human needs is one of the models that helps understand human needs. You also are reading about the Firo-B model with inclusion, I think affection, I can't remember the third category of human needs. There's lots of these models out there. It doesn't really matter what you use, just so you get in the habit of asking what human beings in your life, including yourself, actually need. And Maslow's hierarchy is a hierarchy, so it starts at the bottom and it works up with human development. And at the very bottom are physiological needs. We need cool enough, comfortable temperatures in this time of climate change. We need food, adequate food, healthy food. Most of us would say we need shelter. A safe place. We need to be able to rest and get enough sleep. These are all our physiological, foundational human needs. If we're deprived of these needs to a certain degree, we're not going to survive. I mentioned this in my last lecture, that some nasty negotiators, conflict people, will try to deprive you of basic needs in order to gain power over you. Don't let them. At the next level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is safety. I would say actually it's one of the basics, right? And we have so ignored it in this highly contentious political time. I'm going to say some provocative, controversial things, but they need to be said in a peace building class. The National Rifle Association has been prioritizing profit, the profit of people who sell guns. I grew up with people who hunt, and responsible hunting really isn't a contentious issue to debate. But assault rifles, that is, a group of people who do not trust our government and are preparing to overthrow the government, like you saw when that group of people stormed our Capitol and tried to take it over, did a great deal of harm and damage. They don't care if any of us are safe. All they care about is that they're able to defend their property and themselves. And I'm going to be sharing a few times, this easy access to weapons, especially weapons that can be used to really do great harm against human beings. That's part of why we're seeing the violence we're seeing in this country. We have more of it than all the countries that restrict access to these weapons. And it's very sad and tragic. We all need to feel we belong, that we're loved and accepted. I've introduced group influence and how powerful it is. Well, if your only way of being safe and surviving is to be loyal to a destructive in-group, I understand, especially if you're a child, right? We need to figure out how to give all children safe shelter, safe communities, safe places, so that they aren't forced to do what one of my friends from Colorado was forced to do as a young man. And the fact that he had murdered someone as a young man haunted him the rest of his life. So we all need to feel that we have a group. And if you don't feel like you've had a group where you belong before coming to Dominguez, please join ours. I happily welcome you to the campus and to my major. I love working with my students, and many have been bullied and excluded from other groups. This is a perfect place for you to belong. I'm not going to, as I said, revisit all of this PowerPoint. I want to keep going with Maslow's hierarchy. Feeling good about ourselves, that we have talents and strengths, is the next level, the level of esteem. We must respect ourselves. And everyone wants to feel this. So, you know, this posturing of win-lose really hurts this level. We all deserve to feel worthy, and I believe we are all worthy, all of us, because we are here right now as human beings. The highest level for Maslow is the level of self-actualization, fulfilling your potential as a human being. And that's the whole purpose of my Living Inspirations workbook, is to share with you some of my life experience, hopefully to help you and to encourage you with taking the steps you need to do to fulfill yourself, to fulfill, as I say in my Power of Myth class, your destiny, to contribute your gifts and your strengths to the world. That's all about peace building. So this is a wonderful model that I really love. Have a good week.